This is At Home with Colton Herta. I think for sure made my decision easier growing up around racing and being around it from ever since I could remember. Definitely guided me towards that wanting to be a race car driver, and finally getting the chance when I was 6 years old to get in a go-kart and make that first step was amazing. I think as far as the career, having my dad involved, just having somebody that has gone through every scenario of being a professional race car driver is helpful, in every aspect, on track, off track, and contract negotiations. He understands a lot of these things that I will be going through or have gone through. It's very helpful. It was cool that he was my dad, but more importantly, he was an amazing strategist. Instead of have him be on the timing stand with me, walking me through the races was an amazing thing. For me, going over and racing with Carlin, which really is a big institution for raising young drivers and kind of shaping them into Formula One or INDYCAR, sports car drivers. A lot of guys have gone through the ranks there. My first year there, I did 30 races and 25 test days, so a whole bunch of time inside the race car, which is really crucial at that stage in your career when you're still developing and learning. I give them a lot of credit for the driver that I am today. Matt Ogle and Trevor Carlin, the guys that I worked with over there, have really shaped me really well into a really race car driver. So yeah, I think there's a lot of learning on the track. I think a lot of learning off the track as well. How to kind of conduct myself as an adult, how to, I was paying rent on an apartment. I was having to figure out how to get food, how to clean in a completely different country. Luckily, they speak the same language, but it is a very different country to the United States. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. I think it really helped me on a whole bunch of different levels, trying to figure out how I was going to get to the track and what time I need to get to the track. I didn't have a car, so I had to figure out train or taxi or bus, how to get to places. And so yeah, it really shaped me well.
This second generation driver now becomes the youngest to ever win in INDYCAR. Colton Herta has done it.
Way to go.
I think the first win was a little bit of a surprise. We were running in third all day. We were probably going to finish in third without a caution. We undercut the leaders, and the caution came out when we undercut, so a little bit lucky in that sense, but we had the pace to be up front all day and made the most of it. I don't think I truly appreciated it when it first happened. I think having a year like last year where I didn't have a single win, really makes you appreciate when you finally get back to winning or winning your first race like that. Well, I think there's only a handful of guys, maybe one or two guys that have beaten me as far as getting a win in that many starts. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like I said, I didn't fully appreciate it at the time, but it's definitely something that I look back on with a smile. I think looking in the coming years, the goal has always kind of been the same from the beginning, is to win the Indy 500 and win the INDYCAR championship. Along with doing that, you probably win a few races, more poles, more podiums on the way. But it's still, from day one, it's been the main goal and still is. Yeah, it's important that we do things outside of racing. It can be a negative at some point if the only thing you're focused on is work, which I guess for us is a little bit different, because I think it's a fun job and it is a cool obsession to have. But nonetheless, you can't get burnt out or just tired if things aren't going well at the track and you want to kind of get away with it from it. It's important to have other options. The last thing you want is to come back from a bad race or a bad string of races, and your only hobbies involve racing. So for me, it's fun to have outlets to have pleasure, enjoyment outside of racing. My biggest thing is my dogs. I love my dogs. I love hanging out with my dogs. So that's number one. Me and Riley have a pit bull named Sandy, and then we have a Pyredoodle, half Pyrenees, half poodle, named Henry. And they're rescues, and Henry's a monster. I think moving into, I call it the Midwest, but the South, the northern South, has gotten me closer to to everything about IndyCar. You know, it's a lot easier to get to the shop. It's close travel for all the races, test days, sim days. We were obviously so busy in season, so it was nice to be able to be out here and live out here. And I think it's a great state. Everyone's extremely friendly here, very outgoing, which is different than Los Angeles, where we're from. So you know, it's a lot of fun out here. I've really enjoyed my time.